Good morning, brothers and sisters. This morning I wanted to read from 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 12 through 19. It's on suffering as Christians, followers of Christ. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Christ, for the onoma, the authority, the cause of Christ, happy are ye, for the Spirit of God and of glory resteth upon you. And on their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. If any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf. For the time for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. Do you not know that you are the temple of God, the house of God? And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator." It says, "Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God," suffering according to the will of God. Let's look up here first at the fiery trial. What is this fiery trial? The sufferings for Christ, not for other reasons, for Christ. Fiery trial. Let's look at fiery trial. Fiery trial. Purosis, a burning, hence a refining, a burning, a trial, a fiery test, a refining. It's what we've talked about a lot. We need to be refined, brothers and sisters. Ignition, i.e., especially smelting, figuratively conflagration, calamity as a test, and a burning trial. Think it not strange. This fiery trial that you're under, that you go through as a Christian, it shouldn't be a strange thing. If you're not going under trials from God, then how is he refining you? How is he making you look more like Christ? It says, "But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy." It says, "But if ye be reproached for the authority, the cause of Christ," if ye be reproached, from a privative root, meaning to upbraid, to revile, like in showing one's teeth, properly to disgrace, insult, reproach, mock, curse, insult, cast blame. To cast blame. It says, "Yet if any man suffer as a Christian," any man suffer as a Christian, as a follower of Christ, as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. Let's look up the word Christian real fast. I've got one more set that I really want to look up in here because it's the main portion of this. Christianos, a Christian. From Christos, a Christian, i.e., follower of Christ. Take up your cross, daily cross, and follow me. Take up your sufferings like he did. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. Don't you know you're the temple of God?" It says, "And if the righteous scarcely be saved," if the righteous scarcely be saved, let's look how hard it is to be saved as someone who's righteous. If the righteous scarcely be saved, scarcely. With difficulty, hardly, scarcely. This is the main words I wanted to look up right here. It's molus, from mogos, toil, properly, something happening with great difficulty, i.e., hardly or scarcely. What barely happens, emphasizing the slight margin by which something comes to pass, i.e., because it is so difficult. The slight margin by which something comes to pass, i.e., because it is so difficult. Laborious toil. Focus on the prolonged nature of a difficulty. The prolonged, hardly able to get through, narrow path, slight margin by which something comes to pass. And if the righteous hardly, scarcely, with great difficulty be saved, be sozo. To be saved. Save, heal, preserve, rescue. To deliver out of danger into safety. Used principally of God's rescuing believers from the penalty and power of sin and into his provisions. And if the righteous scarcely be sozo, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God, to the will, the active will, the wishes, to the desires, to them that suffer because God desires it to be that way. God's preferred will. His best offer is suffering in this world so that you can become the image of Christ. Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator. If the righteous scarcely be saved. Love you all, brothers and sisters. Hope you have a blessed, wonderful day. And that the trials and the fires of this life bring you closer to your Father as he has planned. Love you all. Jesus loves you too. You have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay strong in the Lord.